Okay.
So I'm going to hit the button over here. We're going to knock this puppy out, Wes. What do you say?
I don't condone
Knocking
violence.
puppies?
Yeah. No.
Especially against puppies. I don't want any
Nope.
violence
I
against puppies
I only
either.
club I only club seals, no puppies.
All right, there we go. Hey, everybody, I'm Brian.
And I'm Joey.
I
And
know
I'm
you.
Wes.
Welcome to episode 115 of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. I feel, Wes, like there's something missing tonight, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know what it is.
It must be Marilyn Manson's bottom rib.
No, I know what it is. It's Jess. Jess is in here
probably.
tonight. Yeah,
Why don't we
that's
get
what it
Jess
is.
on?
We should. We should actually get Jess on. No,
Have you and I ever done an episode just you and I together?
I don't think so. I don't
I
think
think
we
Joey
have.
and I have done them, but I don't think I've done one with just you before.
Yeah, I know that you and Joey have done some, but I absolutely don't think. And obviously I've done with Joey, but I've never been with just you, Wes.
Yeah, it's okay. Not many people can say that.
Come on along, everybody. Spend the next hour or so with us talking about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bike packing, bike camping, or just playing bikes. Tonight, we're going to talk about suspension bottom brackets. And I think in the show notes, that caught you off guard, didn't it, Wes?
It made me visibly angry and physically mad.
A crazy little mashup in bike race land of dirt and other stuff, and whatever else we feel like talking about. Me and you, Wes.
It's our life. It's our show.
It's just we
We'll
could
do what we want.
Let's talk about pizza or beer or something like that. What do you say?
Okay. I'm good with that. We can do. I've got lots of beer I can talk about already.
I didn't get anything to drink before I started this tonight. What am I?
That's because you're not in Joey's kitchen.
I know.
Go raid his fridge.
I'm all off my game. Sorry about that, everybody. What do you have anything you're drinking tonight, Wes?
I do. I have experimented. I am now drinking. I don't know what they call it, but I think it's called a dark Stormy Daniel or something like that. But it is. It's rum, spiced rum, lime, and vodka or ginger beer.
Walk through that one more time. Spiced rum, vodka,
lime, and ginger beer. So it's basically Moscow Mule with rum in it, more or less.
Okay. Yeah.
So I ran out of vodka, so I was like, well, maybe I'll just throw this in there. So I did it, and it tasted really good. So I looked it up, and apparently it's a drink. But I think it's called like a Dark and Stormy or something like that. So I call it the Stormy Daniels.
Nice. I like that name better. Yeah. Travis just jumps in and then jumps right back out. But I'm glad that he came in and made his presence known in the chat there. Hey, Pete. Hey, Ted is here. Rush, Cameron is here. Got a whole bunch of people in the house. What's going on up in Dirty Michigan?
Well, we were having spring. We were getting fit. We actually went out and we walked. We've got the bike trails like a mile from our house. So that's like a 40-mile bike trail. It takes us all the way up to this town called Sutton's Bay. Okay. So we can ride up there. Well, we decided to go for a walk. It was like 60 degrees this weekend. It was amazing. They just opened a brewery down at the bottom of our hill, right at the bike trail. Went in there. Really cool bars. Like this abandoned building that's been abandoned for like 20 years. They did an awesome job getting it put together, and had a couple of really good beers. They had like a chocolate toffee stout, super good. And they had another one you would like. It's like a fruity IPA. Okay. And Melanie had that. And that was it was really tasty. I would say it's up there with that Tropicana. Yeah. And then this morning we got 3 inches of snow. So that's where I'm at.
We've had a little bit of the same where it's like we had really nice weather last week. It's beautiful in the 60s, even got up into the 70s. And now it's cold again and it's kind of gray and rainy. A couple of quick catch-ups here. Glad to see Dave Pryor in the house. Clink. Right back at you there, Dave. And Chris Howell is here. Chris, I'm hoping that you stick around for a little while because I'm going to talk a little dirty kitten business here in just a little bit. And then you got a correction here from Elizabeth. She says that's a dark and stormy. A dark and stormy Daniels is made with Jack Daniels.
Ooh, interesting. I do have Jack Daniels, so maybe that's what I'll do later.
Maybe you have to do
I was just kind of having fun because, Stormy Daniels is a person. So
but apparently it's a real thing. So
that's a real thing. Good.
There we go.
Thank you.
And I don't know, can you see the chat in the live stream? I don't want to
I didn't open them today. I'm sorry.
Okay. Fred Parker says
it's always
hello.
Really delayed for me too.
Okay. So. Fred Parker says hi, Wes.
Oh, hey, Fred. Did it have ellipses, like 4 little periods at the end there?
Yes, it did. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like Fred. Okay, that's real Fred.
Joshua Sands is here. Hey, Josh, what's up, buddy? And Rush actually wants to know when did Wes come back? Did Wes ever leave?
No, I haven't been gone ever.
The spirit of Wes was always here. I think. I don't
like Father Christmas, basically.
Never
gone. I just have to go somewhere else for a little bit.
Never gone. And we're all very excited this week. I know I am very excited. You've got a new microphone and a new headset, and you sound fantastic to me, Wes.
Thank you.
I think you sound wonderful to everybody else, because if you sound half as good to everybody else as you sound to me right now, your golden tones, I think you sound pretty good. Stick around. So, Chris, yes, you better stick around. Unless something was messed up, then he's going to call in Alex. No, this is all really good news. Really good news. So for me, I mean, like I was just telling you, spring was here and then it left. So we had fake spring. That's what I like to call it. And it lasted for about a week. And now it is back to being cold. I was getting really used to riding outdoors. And today and yesterday, I had to get back on the trainer again. It's so hard to get motivated, dude. It is just legit so hard. But I'm glad I did it yesterday. I did actually Alex's Dirty Kitten ride last night after I did Darcy's ride. So I did like 3,000 feet of climbing on Zwift. And then I did like 25 miles tonight. So
nice.
glad I did it tonight, because it was one of those. I took Saturday and Sunday off by design. I got just a whole bunch of stuff going on right now, getting the shop set up and getting my boat set up and everything. And yesterday I spent the day, Wes, you'll get a kick out of this, getting a forklift to run. I don't know, did I send you the video of that?
No,
I didn't.
That's
okay.
I didn't know you had that kind of skill set, Brian.
Yeah,
I've got use for you yet.
Yeah, well, driving the forklift isn't any big deal. I've done that. But this
Are you forklift certified, Brian?
No.
Well,
no.
Then you shouldn't have been able to operate that.
I proved it yesterday. I proved it yesterday. Well, no, actually, I think I did really well yesterday, because I had to get it started, and I had all sorts of problems with the propane tank, and the valve was leaking, so I got it all shut down and swapped it out and put the new tank on it. I had to jump it. The battery is dead. It had been a long time since this forklift has run. So I got it jumped, and I got it running, and I knew it had a problem with the brakes. I didn't know that the problem extended to they didn't exist, because there were no brakes on the forklift.
Then there's no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's no brakes, there's no problem.
If there's no brakes, there's no problem. So basically, I was driving it with the clutch, just kind of like popping the clutch out and letting it move a little bit. So it's like this herky-jerky kind of moving the forklift around the barn. And then I've got a whole stack of 10 by 16s that are up on the top of the very top shelves in the barn, which is basically like almost 20 feet in the air. So I jacked the forklift up to it, and I got them underneath there, and I got them lifted up. But I think this forklift is kind of lacking in the oomph, because I got it up and one side of it wouldn't move. And so I'm literally watching this. And then because I think
some of our viewers can appreciate that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I got the wood lifted. I mean, it's a massive stack. It's like 50 pieces of board. And I got it lifted. And then I started to turn, and I got one side of it out, but I could see the one side of it was still hung up, and it didn't want to kind of break free. And then I realized, as many times as this forklift has choked out on me and stopped running, that I was really fearful that I was going to get this wood dangling up in the air, and that thing was going to choke out, and I was going to be stuck. So I shoved it back in, and I think what I'm going to end up doing is bring the forklift up to it, bring the forks up to it, and then just hand crawl up there on some. I got scaffolding. I'll crawl up there on the scaffolding and hand load board over onto the forklift to lower it. That's what I think I'm going to end up doing. But
this is a spicy episode. We got wrecked forklifts. We've got wood. We've got dangling. I mean, come on.
Can't get it up.
This is it. Yeah. You know what? Is there a forklift podcast? I think that needs maybe some amateur forklifters.
I bet you there is one. I'll bet you dollars to donuts there's a forklift. I'm going to search tonight, and I'll let you know.
I'm sure. I'd be very curious I would listen to it, at least one episode to figure it out. Yeah.
if it had all come tumbling down, that would have been one and done episode. Yeah. I just looked at all this weight sitting above my head, and I was like, I am not doing this. Just popping in the live stream on the chat, John Wagaman. Hey, John. John, I know through Adventure Cycling and through working Empire State Ride. John, we have not heard anything from staffing on the Empire State Ride this year. I know that they're planning to have it. I had an interview with the new company that took it over back towards the end of the year. And then I really haven't heard anything from them. Got one email, just said, hey, we're still thinking about you. We haven't forgotten about this, but I don't know what's going to happen. And yes, Pete, Mid-Atlantic Lumber, Tools, and Cargo. That's fantastic. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we didn't get any contacts from folks. We didn't get email. We didn't get any. I'm going to shut the voicemail down, Wes.
I was going to say, well, we had a voicemail. We never listened to it.
Oh, we do, don't we? And it's because I kind of forgot about it again. So I'll get to that. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, no problem. Because I think I said I was going to leave if we didn't get a voicemail. Yeah, and we had a voicemail.
We did actually get one, and I forgot.
That person rose to the challenge and saved the show.
But I think when it came in like while we were recording, and so that's kind of a weird time where it doesn't really make it into the next step. I need to go back and find that, and I'll do. I
feel like if somebody calls in while we're on an episode, we figure out how to pipe them in, and they're just on now.
I don't know how to do that. I've actually had some people ask me about.
We're going to promise that. That's coming next week. People.
Do you want me to figure that out? Because I'll figure that out.
I'd be kind of curious. I feel like people would take us up on that.
We could take call-ins.
That'd be fun. Yeah, like what's that Delilah show where she talks about like people's lives on the radio?
Yeah, we could get people to call in with their gravel identity problems.
Oh, sure.
What kind of gravel is this?
Yep.
I don't know where I'm at.
That'd be fun.
I get to do Strava Club tonight. I'm very excited about that. I don't ever get to do Strava Club. I love doing Strava Club. Strava Club was like kind of like my baby, and then Joey took it over.
Why don't you just kick Joey off of it? That'd be easy to do.
No, I'm not doing that to Joey. So
you invented the podcast, so I think you just kick him off.
I didn't invent the podcast. We all invented this. This is all of our baby. It's all our little baby.
No, you came to me like that morning before. You're like, "Hey, do you want to do a podcast with us?" I was like, "All right, sure, why not?"
Yeah, it's true.
Here we are. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's all an evolution. It was all meant to be. Top 100 random rider shout-outs. The first name up, Mark Smolko from Wilmington, Delaware, with 165 miles. Congratulations, Mark.
Nice.
That's good miles. Robert Loafman from North Kakalaki with 135 miles. Good job, Robert. And
the old Loafman.
Bruce Stouffer from Concord, North Carolina with 212.9. I can't remember how many miles I had last week, Wes. It was 170s.
It was a good amount, yeah.
Yeah, it was like the 170s.
It was more than I had.
Do you still, your only social network left is Strava, right?
I guess technically, yeah, I have a Strava. Do I? I think so. It exists. I haven't been on it. It's not on my new phone.
You need to actually start using Strava like your social network and just like post crazy things on there.
I should do like a kitchen ride, like to and from the oven or something like that.
Be brilliant. Strava your walk to the kitchen.
Yeah.
So the folks, to break into the top 100 for the week, you needed 134 miles. Now this is good news, Wes. Our total members have risen from 706 to 714. I think we're getting ready to see a big influx.
Oh, that's excellent.
I think we're getting ready to see a bunch of new people because it's starting to become the season. People are getting back on their bikes. All those folks that bought a bike that didn't know what they were doing with it last year, now they're experienced, and they're going to be like, oh, well, of course I have to be on Strava, and I have to be on the Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt Strava Club. Well, what else is there? Where else is there to be? Correct.
I wonder if we can advertise our Strava on Strava to get more Strava followers.
Strava is very expensive to do business through. Did you realize that? Yes, it is.
No, I remember. What was the thing with Strava like a year ago where they took away some free features, and I thought they were done for.
No.
Was it mapping?
There was a whole bunch of stuff they took away. But I don't think it was really as bad as people thought. Okay. Joey Sikorsky is here on the live stream. Oh my goodness gracious. Joey, you were supposed to be I hope that you are kicking back, sitting on the sofa with a drink in your hand, and
Joey's on the toilet.
He sent me a picture of himself on the toilet the other day. So that's great. Total members up 714 to 706. And if you want to join us on Strava, strava.com/clubs/gravel travel dirt. Joey, we're not going to carry on a conversation with you through the live stream. It's just not going to happen.
And then you've got to read it out to me so then I can respond to him.
I won't read what he wrote on the one because that'll get us in trouble. But he did want to say he's home now and he has Costco wine. So now Chris and
Wait,
Joe.
you can get Costco wine in Maryland now?
No, he's making fun of you because you like the Costco wine.
Dude, Costco wine for $8. That's a killer wine for $8. Holy crap.
Anything
I
that'll
encourage
get you,
anybody, yeah.
Anything that'll get you a buzz.
Their
going
vodka's
like
really
for
good.
$8.
Supposedly Grey Goose makes it.
Sweet Sue in the house. Hey, Sue.
Oh, hello,
This is so
Sue.
exciting to see all these people popping into the live stream tonight. I'm very excited. I think it's because Joey's not here. They must have heard or must have seen that. Okay, so Wes, we teased this in the intro. We teased this a little bit in the intro.
Yeah, good callback, Brian. This is a good podcast technique.
So Specialized has filed patents for a suspension bottom bracket. And if you don't think that's a weird thing, I'll tell you, you ain't seen nothing yet. Now, I'm going to give full credit where credit is due. We all read Bike Rumor. We all go there probably 8 times a day, right, Wes? Isn't that what you do?
You know, Bike Rumor used to be way cooler. It used to not have so many ads and little clickable spaces. It was just like one feed, and it was way easier to use. And then you had to direct me how to find the ad.
I know.
This list. I was like, I don't know how to use Bike Rumor anymore.
So there was a recent post on Bike Rumor named the title of the article, something like Patent Patrol or something. But inside that article, it indicated a couple of things that Canyon was doing, but then it also talked about something that Specialized has in the works, and they're looking at a way to suspend the crankset and seat post inside the frame. So you see flex in the seat post or the seat tube, and when you see that, like the redshift in their seat post, what they're attempting to accomplish is by adding suspension along the bottom bracket and the seat post to allow for that flex. But what this patent does, I'm probably not doing a really good job explaining it, but what they're trying to accomplish is add suspension at the bottom bracket so the seat post and the bottom bracket move as a unit. So your distance between the saddle and the center of the crank never changes. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. No,
so
I think for a dumb idea, you just put really good words to it.
Okay, so instead of just the seat bouncing up and down and the bottom bracket staying set, your saddle height changing as that flex occurs, they're actually putting them together so that they operate as a unit. Yeah, Pete, thank you very much. Leave it to Pete. Suspension without altering fit.
There you go.
It's brilliant.
That'll be all right.
Whether or not we can pull it off or not.
Technically, I think it would still alter your reach and your rise a little bit.
But that's not going to have as big an impact on power as altering your...
Well, I mean, putting suspension on the bike is going to alter your power substantially.
Right.
Every time that thing moves, that's energy put into moving that suspension versus moving you forward.
But if that distance between the seat, the saddle, and the center of the crank don't move, that should have much less impact on power than the seat bouncing.
I don't know about that. I'd be curious. There's got to be some sort of test you can do on that. I'm sure there's some nerd on here that can tell us a test. But you know, because if you're compressing that suspension, I mean, that's a lot of energy into that. But at the same time, that's the argument for the Roubaix is, okay, at the end of a long ride, if you're comfortable, you've got more gas in the tank.
Well, I think
if you're not getting the crap beat out of you the whole ride, you got more gas in the tank at the end of the day.
There's also an argument on the future.
I would say the fit thing makes sense though.
Yeah, so it's the argument for the future shock, as I understand it, is that when the wheel is rolling forward, instead of the wheel being shoved up and in essence backwards, reducing speed, by flexing, it actually rolls over an object, no matter how big or small it is. It's going to roll over it easier, thereby maintaining speed. So that's, as I understand it, the way that the future shock that's smoother is faster. I think they actually use that in some of their marketing materials.
Yeah, like I get that, but at the same time, it's like taking a full suspension mountain bike versus a hardtail. You know, if you take a full suspension mountain bike and you were to go out flat race with a hardtail is going to kick the crap out of a full suspension mountain bike. Yeah, because you lose a ton of that energy into just activating that suspension. Right. Now that being said, you go on a technical course and you've got that suspension that's sucking up all that terrain. they're most likely going to be more efficient on that course and be able to blow that hardtail out of the water.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this could be really purpose built, but to me, it's like, why not take a look at, like, for Specialized, it's like, just brand the Epic, as that gravel bike. I mean, if you're putting suspension on there, what size tire are you putting on that gravel bike at that point in time?
Yeah.
You're in mountain bike territory, I feel like.
Yeah, and Joey's not here, but he's still chiming in. He says, to be fair, Specialized files for a crap ton of patents for all kinds of stuff just because. And he's absolutely right. They are a patent company.
They might not do anything with this ever. They just want to keep somebody else from doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that Specialized is a patent company. But looking at the patents, it's pretty doggone cool because they've got two different setups. They've got an internal hydraulic suspension that sits inside the frame, and it rotates in a cylinder inside the bottom bracket. And then they've also got a second patent that uses an external system as a shock. So obviously the hidden inside is going to be a lot cleaner, a lot neater. You could hide a motor in there too.
Harder to maintain.
A lot harder. Well, maybe not.
Well, any of this will be harder to maintain.
Yeah,
I mean, talk about maintenance intervals. I mean, now you're just, I mean, man, this is just so complicated.
Yeah, but
and I'm sure there's a new bottom bracket standard that comes along with it, You can only use Specialized OSBBS system. Yeah.
And Chris makes a great point. He says they haven't solved the bottom bracket creaking yet. They're trying to make it
well, there's that
now.
too. Yeah. Although I think when I left, they were starting to put a lot of threaded bottom brackets into bikes again. I think even like on their carbon stuff, they were putting threaded back into things, which is great. I don't know if they stuck with that plan, but hopefully they did.
Well,
press fit was what a pain. Ugh. I mean, for like the average cyclist, nobody's going to benefit from the press fit, the power, that you're getting out of that.
No.
Yeah. No. Give me a break.
No. It caught my eye when I was looking at Bike Rumor the other day, and I thought, well, I threw it out here something to talk about, and I took it in, I put it in, I put it out, put it in. And I was like, you know what? It's kind of interesting enough in this world of suspension and what you're seeing so many innovations in that. And yeah, Joey, I get it. Specialized.
It's weird, man.
It's they are definitely a patent company, and kind of everybody knows that. But I thought it was unique and different. And like you said, who knows if anything ever comes of it? I think probably most mechanics are hoping that it doesn't, like you just said. But if you think about it, if it's a unit,
it's job security.
Yeah, if it's a unit that goes all the way down the seat tube, it could possibly be something that would be easy to access. I think the real problem is going to be the mechanics in the rotation inside the bottom bracket.
Well, it could be. I mean, if it's anything like a rear triangle to a bike, I mean, replacing a rear triangle to a bike, you think that's relatively simple, but getting all those pivots to line up, making sure the bearings are pressed in right, I mean, and then you got to replace your bushings after a while. I mean, your maintenance goes way up. I mean, technically, if you've got a full suspension mountain bike, you're supposed to service your bushings. Gosh, every it's like 800 hours or something or less than that. Yeah, it's a way higher interval than people do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. This to me just seems kind of like a service nightmare with an expensive price tag.
There you go. I did a good job explaining it. You did a good job just wrapping it up as to what the end result is actually going to be. Now, this is where I hope Chris, sound off if you're still here, because if
you're still here.
Chris and Alex, I mean, they just keep coming up with some of the most innovative stuff. And I've been kind of waiting a little bit to talk about this until the event date got a little closer, and we're about a month out now. They have introduced the Dirty Kitten Growly Cat, and that's coming up on Sunday, April 18th, 2021. Chris, did I get the date right? Sound off if I didn't get the date right. So what is a growly cat? Wes, do you have any clue what a growly cat might be?
I wish it were a brewery.
No, it's not a brewery. That'd be a great name for a brewery, though, wouldn't it?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I really like the name Growly Cat, though.
That's what Chris and Alex should do next. Is they should open a Dirty Kitten brewery. I'd buy that. Yeah, no, it'd be really good. But they should have one that's like their IPA should be called the Pepe Le Pew, because it's a skunk that. No, we can't use that anymore. You can't use Pepe Le Pew anymore. That's
why not?
No, that's you can't use that anymore because he was all rapey. Oh yeah.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I know that he was like super
yeah.
into that cat. But yeah, I
Yeah.
guess you're right. That was
No,
maybe
no.
inappropriately.
I
He was always
always
advancing.
I always thought as a kid that it was creepy. Honestly, whenever
Huh.
you would see Pepe Le Pew, I always thought it was creepy.
Yeah, I guess
And
because he always failed so terribly, but
well,
his
yeah,
intentions were always sweet. And I
he
was
was
like, okay, but yeah, you're right. He was very pushy.
he was very
That
handsy
is
too.
not an appropriate.
No,
Yeah,
no.
no, you're right.
That's I'm glad that one's gone. I don't
Look
care
at
about
you, Brian.
I don't
Yeah.
care about Dr. Seuss, but Pepe Le Pew is. Although yeah, that Dr. Seuss thing. A lot of that stuff. If you actually saw the pictures of what the stuff was that they pulled, yeah, that was a little.
I'm sure, man. Like,
too.
what a weird time. And then, I mean, it's the Dr. Seuss family that pulled it, so whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if they feel that's right, then good.
yeah,
Have at it. Yeah.
So
That's
let's
their
let's
prerogative.
get back to Growly Cat. We went off on a little tangent there. It is a gravel grinder plus an alley cat style event. Now, an alley cat is an unsanctioned, informal, underground style of bike race that traditionally takes place in cities and urban areas where participants race from one checkpoint to the next in an effort to complete all challenges and or hit as many locations as possible. So the Dirty Kitten Growly...
So is it like an urban randoneering event almost?
Kind of, yeah. I guess you could say that. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or like a shorter randoneering event.
Yeah.
Okay, kind of like a build your own adventure. Like I want to go to get to point A to point B. I'm going to take this route. You get to choose.
You just hit it on the head. The Dirty Kitten Growly Cat is a choose your own adventure gravel event on the grounds of Locust Hill Farm and Preserve in Rapidan, Virginia. So instead of following a set course from start to finish, riders are able to select their own route as they make their way around the property, visiting multiple checkpoints along the way. Both competitive and recreational riders are welcome. Is that unique?
I love it. I'm kind of mad I'm not going to go. There's an event. What is that stupid Netflix documentary? There's a race in South Carolina, North Carolina.
Oh, the one in Tennessee. No, the one in Tennessee.
The Tennessee. Yeah. What's that documentary called? It's a certain race. We'll find it and we'll think of it later. But
I can't.
But like at each station, to prove that you were there, you're given a certain page at a books, and you got to pull page 202. And so every station you go to, you got to pull page 202 out of the book, and you've got to make sure you have all your pages by the time you're done your race. But that's a timed event. I don't know. Like there's 1,000 ways to do this. I'm excited. I'm amped on this, and I can't even go.
That one, there's loops you have to do, and you have to do one forward and then one backward, and you have to do all three. And
yeah, what is that? Because it's based off of an escaped convict. They found him so many hours later, and that's why they chose the hours.
It'll come to me as soon as this is over. In fact, I think I was the one that told you to watch it. I was like, if you
could,
Barkley
it
Marathons.
very well could be, yeah. Somebody told me did.
There it is. Yeah. Elizabeth got it. Barkley Marathons.
Barkley Marathons. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And if you have not watched that, obviously Elizabeth has, Dave has. If you have not watched Barkley Marathons, go to. I don't think it's on Netflix anymore, though.
Oh no.
Go somewhere, find it.
And they took The Office off. Man, I'm off of Netflix.
Yeah. Are you on anything still though? You're like,
no, man. I get my information from a paper that comes in the box every morning.
Print is not dead. So participants in the Growly Cat will have the choice of riding either a short course, which is approximately 20 miles, or if you go the wrong way and make bad mistakes, it could be a lot longer, I guess, or the long course, which is approximately 40 miles. You can do this individually, as pairs, or small teams. What fun.
I want to be their adopted kid. And then Dave can have me on weekends. That'd be fine.
All the participants will be given a map of the course prior to their designated start time, on which the checkpoints, course boundaries, and key navigational points will be clearly marked. So this also gets around some of those COVID things because it's not a mass start. Because it's irrelevant.
No, that's clever. What a cool way to host an event and work that. That's super cool.
You're just out on this course. There's all bunch of it doesn't matter. You may pass people crossing your path or going the wrong way. There's no relevance. There's absolutely no rhyme nor reason. But all you have to make sure you do. This is
so cool. I think this will put some adventure in some people's steps like real fast.
Yeah.
I think this is a really cool idea.
So after visiting all of the checkpoints, the riders return to the start area where their scorecards will be verified and their finish times recorded. And then I think some point during the week, if I remember reading it correctly, you will actually then find out where you placed. You don't have to hang around for ceremonies. This would be the perfect kind of event, though, that would be if at some point in the future you're able to add the social component back into events like this, where you could actually clock out of your race time and go hang out and then clock back in and go do some more.
Well, so that's kind of like there's the 24 hours of Cranky Monkey that I don't know if they still do it at Rosaryville, but it's a team event where, you ride for 24 hours. So when you're not on the trail, you're like back at camp partying. And then when your partner comes in, you're back on the trail and you're doing your laps, you're coming back, so you got a team of 3 or 4.
I remember,
you could probably work something like that. That'd be neat.
I remember seeing some YouTube videos on Cranky Monkey. And didn't Gary Fisher actually come and race Cranky Monkey at Rosaryville one year?
Yeah, not too long. Well, I guess it would have been a while ago now, but yeah, probably within the last 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. And there was a whole video on for that. Hey, see you, Dave. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye, buddy.
Good to see you. We're gonna have you back on the program here, Father Dave, pretty soon. I was thinking about that today. We need to get Dave back on, just cause. I don't care if he has. I don't care if he has anything to promote or not. I just want to have Dave back on. Dave. You know what I'm saying? Dave.
Yeah,
Dave.
What a funky name, Dave.
So yeah, and there's still availability to jump in on that event. The registrations are not closed, so I strongly encourage you. I'm going to put a link in the show notes over to their event. On Bike Reg, where you can get all the information, everything. But what a cool way to go just randomly explore a really cool place and have fun doing it and have this like low key. I think it would be most fun to do it as a team. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think a tremendous amount of fun. And I think Pete is going. I saw Pete's name on the list of registered riders. We got a couple.
That's because Pete's middle name is Fun.
Pete Fun.
Yeah.
That's like a good Chinese dinner. How you like that? You see what I did?
That was good. That was really good, Brian.
I'm getting witty.
Oh, man. Yeah. I can't believe I laughed at
that. You get the dad jokes. So, yeah, Chris, he says, glad to hear you guys dig the idea. Absolutely.
How could you not?
Exactly. How could you not? And yeah,
it's simple. It's complicated. It's everything.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's both simple and massively complicated.
It's as complicated as you want to make it to be, I guess, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
And Chris said, do teams. He wanted to force teams only, but it wasn't the right time, which means he got overruled by Alex and told no, which is pretty cool. So I just think it's so much fun of an idea. And like I said, I'm going to put a link in the to their Bike Reg page in the show notes so that you can go, and there's plenty of open spaces still available. So I strongly encourage folks to explore that. It's just such a fantastic idea. So
what a cool couple.
Yeah, I know.
They're awesome.
I know. You ready to do some this or that? So we're going to have kind of a short program tonight because without Joey here, Joey talks the most, I think, out of all of us.
He does talk a lot, doesn't he?
He does. He talks.
Man, we got to get a muzzle for him.
I think he's gone now. He hasn't chimed in here in a while. Maybe he's just sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying it.
He's wiping. That's probably what it is. His hands are occupied.
He's busy. I can't do it. So there's just the two of us. So we will do our this or that's, and then I certainly hope that the live stream will join in. And Joey, if you're actually on the live stream, please jump in, buddy. It would be a whole lot of fun to actually hear your answers so that we finally have his input in a venue, Wes, where we can ignore it.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not so bad.
First item up this week on this or that, Wes, blue or purple?
They're the same color.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No.
Well, in what context, though? Just in general?
However you want to do it.
Yeah, but I would choose blue for certain things, and I would choose purple for another.
Well, tell me what you would choose blue for and what you would choose purple for.
But I see blue or purple, I would choose it for a bike. I could choose a blue or purple bike any day.
Okay.
But I don't know. It depends on the purple, too. Like, I love that purple, like, oil slick color. You know, when that happens, they put that on certain bikes. They should put that. Man, that was sharp. Love that. But, man, I guess if I had to pick purple. Yeah, I don't know. I really like blue. I've got 2 blue bikes, but, man, if they were offered in purple, I would go purple.
Yeah, purple. Okay.
Yeah.
My Roubaix is blue, and I love that blue. I love that it's that black blue. Kind of it's like, when you look at it from one direction, it's kind of really
punched in the
bright blue. And if you look at it from the other direction, it's kind of like straight black. I really kind of dig that.
Yeah.
But I have Purple Envy with Joey's All City. That's a pretty bike in that purple. And so I think I would have to, in the environment of a bike, I would probably stick to blue because I'm not quite flamboyant enough, I think, to pull off purple, but I wish I was. I wish I was that guy.
Brian, it's fine. It's 2021.
I wish, well,
you.
I'm a child of the 80s. I still have my pink and white fade frame out in the garage on my old, that whole
it's cool,
world.
Man.
Yeah, I could do it. I think I could pull off the purple. I just don't think I have the confidence to pull off the purple. So I would have to stick with blue. So,
Brian, you should be confident. You are a strong, independent man.
Thank you. I think I am.
Don't need no color, gender neutral things.
Pete started off with blue, and then he went to blurple. I think blurple is a good answer.
Fair enough. I told you they're the same color.
Eddie Pliers, I'm torn. I have blue and purple on my Niner. Chris ML, purple. Chris Howell, wow, this is a hard one. He's going to go purple. And part of this I did.
It is a hard question.
Chris or Alex sent me a message. He's like, do you want a blue T-shirt or a purple T-shirt? And I send me the blue T-shirt, and it's a beautiful blue. And I think Joey's getting the purple. So one of these nights.
Should have gone for purple, man.
No, I really love the
blue. What a
blue.
great place to experiment.
Chris said, Alex isn't here, but I can answer purple for her. So, yeah, good, smart answer, Chris, that you went with purple as well. Josh, salsa purple, though, yeah, that salsa purple is...
They do a good job.
I just like the word purple. The more you say purple, the more fun it is to say purple. Purple.
Plus, it rhymes with nurple.
Purple. Had bike wheel gravel. Blurple. Yeah, Pete's trying to give me some confidence. Come on, Brian, you can rock it. Okay, I'll try. I would try to rock the purple.
Frankly, I think, get yourself a purple polo and you'll do just fine.
Yeah, okay. Have you seen, well, no, of course you wouldn't have seen. I'm going to text you, Wes, a picture of what Tom just did to his A-wall. He stripped it down.
Good. He's been talking about painting that thing forever. Good.
I'm going to send you the pictures of it. It actually turned out quite nice.
Tom is there anything that Tom does and you go, I don't know, Tom. No. That guy, I don't understand how he does what he does. What a guy.
Second item on this week's This or That. Wes, a dirty kitten or a dirty dog?
Ooh, dirty dog. It'd be way easier to clean a dirty dog.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, dirty cat. I mean, just getting scratched the crap out of. At least the dog, when you put it in the bathtub, he's just like, why am I here? Am I in trouble? The cat is like fighting you the whole time.
Cats fight you on everything anyway.
Yep. Now, if there's a dirty dog ride, I'm not aware of it, but if it were a ride, I would pick dirty cat.
Okay.
Dirty kitten.
Yeah, I would go dirty dog as well. Dirty.
Oh, there's my dirty dog, and he brought a stick in the house, and he wasn't supposed to.
If you, like you said, if you
come say hi, Milo. Come here.
Oh, come on, Milo. Is he dirty? He brought a dirty stick. Let's see him. Did he run away?
Yeah, he brought the stick in. Oh, there's my wife.
Hi, Melanie.
And there's my dog. I think. I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah, we can see him. We can see him. We can see him.
Yep.
Melanie, keep your stick out of the popcorn room. She can't hear me. She's like, ah.
No, my dog Milo's going nuts.
I would definitely. I think this is a kind of an easy one. A dirty dog. Yeah, I don't think that you want to be trying to clean. Although there's the old joke that the best way to give a cat a bath is to make sure you shut the lid real quick before you flush.
But man, Milo rolls in some gross stuff. I remember when I went over to Will's house over the summer, and him and Milo and their dog found just a dead fish on the beach, and they must have rolled on it forever. Like, we couldn't find them. They came back. We could not get that fish smell out of our dog forever.
Yeah, I think that cats are smarter in that regard. That they're like, I'm not rolling in that.
I'm so sneaky. I don't need to mask my scent.
I poop in the box and then I cover it up. I don't want to be near all of that. But dogs are like, whoa, let's go get in something that smells bad. Yeah. So when they get dirty, they get real dirty. But I would still definitely go with a dirty dog. Let's see.
How Will's doing? I got to text Will. Hey, Will, how's it going?
Eddie Pliers, kitten clean themselves. Absolutely.
Oh, good point.
Pete says dirty kitten. I'll take that full burrito. LOL. Little homage to our dirty kitten friends. Tom doesn't even know what we're talking about. Tom just says thanks, Josh. Chris doesn't want to answer the question, which is probably a smart thing. Ted says that a dirty cat cleans itself. So, we don't worry about that.
That's anymore. A good point.
Okay, third item on this or that. Wes, would you rather have more tech on your bike or a simpler setup on your bike?
So like no computer or computer or like a simpler, like what do you mean?
Help
me.
just
Help
just
me help you.
a callback to the a bottom bracket suspension system that's obviously going to be very complex. Would you rather have more complex things on your bike? And it could be the computer. It could
Less.
be.
I think about this quite a bit. I think about Joey and I's first bikes, our first road bikes, and we had just simple speed computers, and then eventually we went to a cadence computer, and they were specialized sectors. The complicated parts, they had zerts and they had carbon fiber forks, and that was it. Then they had 10-speed 105 on them, and I rode the crap out of that bike.
Yeah.
I had never ridden more in my life, and then now that it's like, okay, now I'm looking at a computer. It's like, oh, well, I got to look at this maintenance thing. Is this 11-speed thing compatible with that 11-speed thing? And it was way harder. Man, I used to ride my bike a lot more when it was simpler, and I just put up with, can I get up that hill or can't? Now I'm not like, oh, can I fit a 42-tooth cassette on my bike? Do I want to go 1x? Do I want to go 2x?
You remember
it used to just be like, I had no choices, so that's what I'm going to do.
Remember the days of coaster brakes?
Yeah.
Pedal backwards to stop.
I think I just got to go simpler. I mean,
like,
that's why I chose the Wahoo over the Garmin. It was a simpler computer.
So I think I'm more engaged with my bike with more technology. Does that make sense? I think
yeah. Sure. You got to be part of it. If you're not actively doing something with it,
I'm not a data nerd. I don't freak out on the data, but I do like to look at data.
It's fair.
But I think there's a fine line. You reach a point where adding so much complexity to the bike, like you were just talking about, does this fit that? Does this work with that? Does this integrate over here? I think you get to a point where you begin, there's diminishing returns. And the return being enjoyment. The more things you have to maintain and make sure work together.
I gotta charge my computer. I've got to charge my power meter. I've got to charge this. You got to charge half your bike, and then now you got to charge your drivetrain.
Yeah, exactly. And
I got to update your drivetrain. Why is my battery dead? Oh, I didn't do an update. And it's like, oh.
Well, my technology kind of saved me the other day because you want to record. I like to record my miles because I like to see what I'm doing. I like to measure myself this year against last year versus it's part of being kind of like, I think that's what's helped me progress. And so I was out on a ride, and after about 6 miles in, my Garmin died. And I'm sure it wasn't the Garmin's fault. It was a 520, and I think it probably had gotten a bad charge, or I had thought it was plugged in and charging, and it actually had come undone because it got bumped. So I was able to actually, when it died, I just quickly grabbed, I still have my Instinct on my watch, and I just hit record on that. So in that instance, technology failed me, but then technology also saved me, if you want to really think about it that way. So let's see what's going on in the live stream. More tech, integrated top tube spreadsheets. That's from Chris Howell. him and Ted are on the same wavelength with they want a live updating. They would love their power meter to actually feed data into the spreadsheet up on their top tube, which has line by line instructions. Eddie Pliers, Avocet for life. Okay. Ted, less fiddling means more writing. Ted, but didn't you see Chris above you with the integrated top tube spreadsheet? I know that's appealing to you, Ted. Pete says, my current roadie has external cabling, threaded bottom bracket, mechanical group, steel frame. I'll take that, simple life. That would be a good hashtag. Hashtag simple life.
Simple life. I bet you it's already a hashtag.
Ted said,
man, you know what? What's that?
Ted just quoted me. He said, quote, I'm not a data nerd. That, sir, is a lie. I have a spreadsheet to prove it. That's kind of true. But I don't really totally nerd out on them. I don't think I do.
You know what computer I miss is the original Garmin 500.
Yeah? Why?
It's just, what a simple computer.
Yeah.
The battery lasted forever.
Yeah.
It was just black and white, and you could change a reasonable amount of data, and you could look at the data that was actually useful.
Yeah.
What a simple computer.
Yeah.
That was it. You didn't need any mapping. You just rode your bike, and you figured it out from there.
I don't ever use the mapping on my Garmin. I don't. I have to know how to do all that stuff for touring. In fact, I was looking at tour stuff today because we got tours coming up. and looking at routes. And it's been a long time since I really had to do a deep dive into bike route maps on Ride with GPS. And I actually was looking at it and I was kind of going, and then I was like, oh, I got to do it. And I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. I got to like this. I am kind of a bit of a map nerd. I like doing all that stuff.
It's fun, man.
Eddie wants to know, Pete claimed the hashtag simple life. It should be maybe simple bike life or simple bike. Hashtag simple bike. Maybe something like that. But I like hashtag simple life too. Eddie wants to know, is there any wireless charging for bike computers yet? I have not. Have you heard of any of that?
No, I haven't. I mean, it's still not on every cell phone. So I would imagine, I mean, that would be a really cool piece, but I don't think that there is.
Yeah. Eddie still has a 500. Eddie wanted to chime in, and he says he still rocks
good for
that
Eddie.
500.
Yeah, never get rid of that. That's a piece of technology that I wish I held on to. I'm an idiot.
Ted says the Element Bolt is the modern Garmin 500.
I think he's right there. Yeah.
Okay, last item on this week's This or That, and Joey hasn't chimed in on any of them. I'm being really diligent in monitoring the feed.
You're doing great,
doing
I think.
Show notes and trying to keep you in line. That's a bit of a challenge at times.
What would be, in the back of my head, I go, there's not actually a live feed right now. You're just making stuff up. You're just making up names and comments.
I am not that creative. Yeah. You could do it, or maybe Joey could do it, but I am not that creative. I have to look at my notes and read my notes and go. Eddie says Joey's asleep. I actually hope Joey is asleep.
Yeah.
He said, I can come in and I'll do the fishing podcast. And I was like, no, Joey, you get the night off, buddy. It's a tough life.
You want me to do your fishing podcast with you?
Oh, that would be fantastic.
It'll be a train wreck, but we'll do it.
It's a tough time of life for Joey right now. He's got boats that are in. He's got people picking up boats. We had fake spring, so people are bringing bikes in. He's just kind of slammed with a bunch of stuff. So I'm glad that we're able to pull this off and give him a night off. And
we got to give Joey nights off.
Last item on this week's This or That, Wes. Daylight savings time or standard time?
Like we would never have daylight savings time again?
Yeah. Do you like the extra hour of
Arizona,
sleep?
I think it's Arizona. Arizona got that right.
So they just stay on standard time?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay, so they don't have the
And I think there's some places in New Mexico that also don't observe daylight savings time, if I'm not mistaken.
I know there's a couple of states that do it, but I mean, daylight savings time is what gives you that extra little bit of sunlight in the evening. And standard,
just wake up earlier. It's the same amount of daylight. It's not like the sun is like going to bed sooner today.
But you would get the extra hour in the evening as opposed to that extra hour of sunlight before you would have to go to work. Or
just wake up.
Front end of the day.
Just wake up. I don't need to rearrange my clocks on my walls and everything for your time change.
Everything does it now for itself anyway. Your car does
not
it
my oven or my toaster oven or my car.
Wait a minute, your toaster oven's not Wi-Fi?
Fortunately, it's not. I bought last year's model, Brian.
Luddite. My air fryer is connected to the internet. No, it's not. I don't think it is. It may actually be.
I'm sure somebody has an air fryer connected to the internet. It wouldn't surprise me in the least bit.
I definitely like daylight savings time. I like that extra hour.
You're like part of the 1% there. I bet you if you look at that chat, most everybody goes, get rid of it.
We're gonna see. You make sure that you chime in, folks. I want to get a good gauge on this. I like that extra hour in the evening. You get off of work, whether you need to cut grass, you can do a couple of things. You can get a bike ride in.
That's why they put lights on lawnmowers, man. That's why they invented the headlamp. Like, it's cool. I like it. And every time I hear about like why daylight savings time was, everybody's like, no, that's not correct. It was really this. And it's always like the same three things. One was for farmers. The other was because it was for lights for World War II to save on fuel, or World War I. I don't know, but it was to save on fuel for lighting things.
And the other one was kids at school going to school in the dark.
Yeah, and I heard that one too. And every time you give one, somebody's like, "No, that's not right. It's one of these three." It's like, "I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm not your guy, pal."
Yeah. Here's where it doesn't get exciting for me. And this happened to me quite a few times last year when I would travel. I was traveling fishing tournaments in June. The middle of June is that longest day. And so it doesn't get dark until 9 o'clock, and then you got civil twilight that'll actually take you out to like 9:20, 9:30.
Thank you.
Oh, you're eating dinner. I haven't had my dinner yet.
I'm hungry.
And thank you, Melly. And I would fish all the way up till 9:30, and then I'm coming off the water at 9:40. Man, that's almost 10 o'clock at night. And then if I was traveling because I was fishing tournament, I wouldn't get home until like after 11 o'clock. Dang. And it was just it felt like it was a really long day, and there was a couple of week window where I was just like, oh, I wish this was not so light, so late. But for most of the time, I really like that extra hour. I like that extra little bit of it. So okay, let's. I got a long ways to scroll back up. Okay,
scroll.
Pete wants to stay standard. Eddie wanted to let us know that Indiana stays standard.
Good to know. Thanks, Gary.
Chris Howell, he wants to stay with daylight savings time. He's a smart man. We should not fall back this fall and spring ahead again next year. Then stay forever. Eddie Pliers, I say daylight savings time all the time. Thank you, Eddie. Ted wants to ditch the switch. Even farmers don't want it anymore. How do you know what farmers want and what they don't want, Ted? Ted actually probably does.
Because Ted's on farmersonly.com.
He's probably got a whole bunch of farmer friends.
That's how you get farmers to swipe right on you. You just I'm against daylight savings time in your profile.
Chris ML, daylight savings because I have a job that starts early, so more daylight time at the end of the day. See, that's it for me right there as well.
Well, then let's switch the work day around and move work earlier. Get out earlier.
Pete wants to send you a message, Wes, and just let you know that he plays Doom on his toaster. Pete's a big gamer.
I've seen people put Doom on like weird things before, so I totally believe it. That's awesome.
On your flip phone. Chris is now talking to Eddie. They're having a sidebar conversation. Eddie, Indiana does daylight savings time now for like 10 years. Have bike, will gravel. Keith says standard. Josh says daylight savings time. And Eddie is responding back to Chris. Eddie and Chris, you guys need to just go to your own room and talk to each other.
Surprisingly more split than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I agree. I was surprised to see as many standard time from
I hope this is brought up in 2024 at the next presidential debates.
It should be. Maybe that should be the biggest item we should have on the agenda.
Forget everything. Forget child hunger. Forget poverty. Forget you name it. Yeah. I want to know daylight savings time.
Hey, Wes, you got anything else before we shut this thing down?
No, man, I'm not Joey. Let's quit it.
Shut it down. You want to eat your dinner before it gets cold.
Yeah, man. Well, it's a salad, so it'll be fine.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. It's a listener-supported podcast by some really incredible people on Patreon or PayPal. You guys and gals know who you are, and we thank you very much. Our show can be found wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And, Wes, how can folks get in touch with us if they want to try?
Well, head to your nearest toaster that's plugged into the Wi-Fi. Get Pete to program it so you can get on the internet, and then head to graveltraveldirt.com. If that's not enough while you're on the internet, get over to your oven, have Pete program that again, and find us on the Instagram on the oven. #SimpleBikeLife, and you can find us at Mid-Atlantic GTD. And if Brian doesn't shut down the voicemail, you can call us, and we may listen to it, and we may acknowledge your existence. You can reach us at 410-231-3850.
I promise to go back and find that last voicemail and play it next week. I promise. And if I don't do it, well, then we'll do it the week after.
Then Brian has a mustache.
I've already started.
Did you?
Let's not forget that, everybody. If we get to I think we've actually lost subscribers, so absolutely nobody wants to see us. See me with a mustache. We actually went down from like 966 subscribers down to 962 on YouTube after we started this. But if we can get to 2,000 subscribers, I will grow a mustache. And because it's taken me, it will take me so long. I've already started, Wes. Can you see it? Can you see it coming in? Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt is recorded this week from my back bike room with my bike trainers sitting over here next to me, all the way up to somewhere in the mitten that is known as Michigan. It's good to see you this week, Wes.
Yeah, you too, Brian. Hope Joey's okay.
Yeah, Joey's fine. He's kicked his feet up. Thanks for riding along, everybody. Until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, respect others, stay healthy.
Love you, bye. Oh, yeah, do that too.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Hit the button. Thank you, live stream. You guys have been a lot of fun tonight. Bill coming in way late. What's up? I may go to Patreon if Brian grows a mustache, said Eddie. Okay.
Ooh.
Maybe
well,
that's what it should be.
You should do that, yeah. For a certain donation, yeah.
For a $20 a month donation that sticks around for 6 months, I'll
Brian
grow a
keeps
mustache.
Brian keeps his mustache.
No,
yeah.
I'll keep it. I'll keep it as long as the 20. So once we reach the 2,000 subscribers, and I have to grow it, I'll keep it as long as somebody comes in with a $20 a month Patreon pledge and continues to do it.
I might even jump on that one.
My wife would smash all my recording equipment. She'd be like, "No, smash, smash, smash."
That's all right. I can take the abuse. It's fine.
Thanks, everybody. We will talk to you next week.